Soraka and Corki and Sona, Dave, whatever you want to call her. In middle we have, of course, Ocelot playing Malzahar plus the Anivia of Shushi. Up at top, we could see a little bit of pressure being put down onto Karthus. Wet Dream is just lurking in the bush, but I don't think he's really going to go for that one. You can see Karthus playing fairly cautious up on that top lane, and he's definitely got a bit of a tough time, I'd say, going up against Wiki, but we are seeing Wet Dream come in, a nice flash coming out there up on that top lane from Karthus, and saved his bacon.
It certainly did, but it did blow a summoner's spell, and that's what they were really aiming for, I think. I don't think they were... Well, obviously, a kill would have been nice. All Clairvoyance used onto Trundle there, and Jarvan is just around the side there, so he's going to actually just edge away, back away, so that's fine. Nothing going with that one. So Karthus is, he's got a massive stack coming towards him in the moment, actually. Wicked is built up. Let's have a quick look down the bottom. How's it been going? Looks like Cookie has had that little bit of poke on him. You can see Malzahar also pushing in mid on towards... we can assume, well, we know it is. Oh, he's trying to bait him in nicely there. Gets the damage onto Ocelot. Ocelot's going to have to go around the backside. Didn't actually put the damage on him, which is why the minions didn't really all turn around to go for him, so it kind of saved him a little bit there. If it had maybe just put the dot straight onto Anivia or the silence bar across. Meanwhile, at the top there, Karthus, you can see, has Wicked coming rear him. Jarvan continuing to try to anti-jungle, or counter-jungle, should I say. Anti-jungle, that's kind of not right. Wow, Karthus is still getting dashed at. Like I said, I wasn't sure who was going to do it. Meanwhile, down the bottom there, Candy Panda is going to try and keep going for Cookie. Don't think he's going to quite get the damage. Just beat him beautifully on the tower. Gets the first blood and just about escapes as well. Really good pin there, using the ability to knock him back and pin him on his own tower and just about finish off the kill. So a cracking first blood there by Candy.
Yeah, and they put some pressure onto Shushi in middle there, and as you can see, Wet Dream did go down fairly low during it all. We saw Anivia managing to survive that one. Melisande has now obviously got to hold that bottom lane for a little while on his lonesome. And there's, again, the aggressive tumble in towards Melisande. And I think SK looking for a better start. Obviously, the game number one was a bit of a domination early on from Fnatic. Then SK came back around. And I think SK will have had a bit of a chat, you know, that they don't want to let that early game be going so heavily over towards Fnatic. Again, Nif taking a little bit of damage down bottom as well as Corki comes back into lane. Got boots now as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, at the top, let's have a look. It's all pretty much even. Nobody's gone back and bought, and Wicked is trying his best to actually zone PK out of this and doing a pretty good job of it, has to be said. You can see there's a few minions already gone down in amongst that, so he's missing out on the experience. It is quite a big zone, but I think he's just about hanging on to it there. Yeah, you can see, look, he's just been forced right out, so really nice play by Aurelia there up top. Wicked doing a fantastic job. It is pretty much his mainstay character. Actually getting very aggressive there, Karthus, as Trundle comes up, tries to get a gank on him, but unfortunately managed to get the dash straight on towards Trundle, which made him avoid really all the trappings that Karthus had laid down for him. So it's a quick escape there. And meanwhile, back in mid, you can see the health rejuvenated back on towards Anivia. Malzahar has been back on board. He's got himself Ruby Crystal there as well as a ward. Wet Dream obviously just had a little poke down the bottom while that was all going on. Didn't really get anything from it, but again, it's just forcing Corki away from that CS. And CS-wise, remember, he has already died. So Corki on 21, Vayne on 39, and Vayne with that extra kill. So bottom lane really has been pretty well dominated by SK at the moment.
Yeah, doing a great job, and as we talked about earlier on, if you missed it, obviously Nif and Candy, the two previously in game, a very strong combination on this bottom lane, moving over to SK now, and they're going to be looking to assert their dominance on this one as well. Hopefully Candy's fixed his microphone. I'm not sure if that was something he could have fixed, and yeah, we are seeing Ocelot start to move in. We could see the diving onto the tower. We'll actually get a suppressing. Corki is surely going down. Yes, he will, and it's Candy that picks up the kill. Oh, and he survived with 13 health as he gets away from that one. Breathes a sigh of relief, no doubt about that. But Candy is now 2 for 0. Good stuff.
13 health. You're not going to be happy with that. So just going to be like, God damn it, I just wanted to poke him one little time, but really nice nice dive there from Ocelot. So very well played, and that, like you say, 2-0, and a strong 2-0 as well, because it's completely pinning down the AD carry of the opposition. Meanwhile, Karthus is just about, well, actually Sheen's on Wicked now. Wicked's been back aboard Sheen, so you can see the difference in the farming, whereas meanwhile PK has just been aboard Ruby Crystal and some more health pots and 2 wards, so really being hampered at the top there quite considerably. 35 CS to 45, so not too far behind the CS because it's very hard to keep him out of the CS, but Wicked is doing as good a job as you could certainly hope for. Meanwhile, it looks like SK are positioning themselves possibly for a early dragon, or are they actually going to try and steal the blue? Looks like they're going to try and steal the golem. You can see Wet Dream and Ocelot coming around. Melisande has just come around, so they're going to have seen that. I think they're going to back away. There's not really anyone to stop them. There is a 4-man there, and they are going to steal this early golem here. And you've got to assume it's going to go to... Actually, went to Wet Dream, less than ideal. I think Ocelot wanted that. But, yeah, that's a clean steal, and that means Anivia is not going to get it. And Anivia kind of needs that blue.
Yeah, definitely, and that's going to be another early bonus for SK. We saw Candy just coming back onto that bottom lane, putting a little bit of damage on. Corky not doing too much though. But a Fed Vayne at this stage of the game is going to start getting very, very scary down on this bottom lane for Fnatic. They have to be very careful about that one. In terms of the CS in middle, let's just take a quick look at that. Anivia 42, Malzahar 53, and bottom is getting a bit of pressure. Melisande going low. He's going to get the heals off, should be safe, but again Candy dives in there. Melisande surviving with 1 bar of health left, and very, very close. Up at top, Wicked going to put down the pressure onto Karthus, and Karthus just like, yeah, well, you're not going to kill me just yet, as we see Valkyrie used for Corky to get out of the way, and Candy really is just being very, very dominant down bottom. The Berserker Greaves already picked up, double Doran's Blade as well as that Vampiric Scepter, which is picked up a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, some pings going down towards Dragon there. So Ocelot now picking up the Golem buff of their own. So Jarvan's going, okay, you know, I stole that one, so I'll give you this one. So that's fine. So Plumber was just hoping to try and get something there, but had been spotted. There is a ward actually just above him. And, oh, just missed the bottom there. Candy, he's actually on a mission. He's going to try and dive on towards Melisande. He needs to be careful. The tower's going to get down on him, but Corky goes down again. Corky did actually just say, is nobody else having these lag spikes? I don't know whether he was just trolling there because it's not doing very well, Lamia. Yeah, the usual excuse. Oh my god, lag! It's like, it's not an FPS, mate. It's everybody else is playing fine. Yeah, but 0-3-0 now for Corky. Melisande's got to be careful here. Can he get pinned on the tower again? No, he's not going to be, but I think he's going to go down. Candy's almost certainly going to finish him off there. Yes, he will. Will he be able to get away from the tower? Yes, he will. No problem. Nif is fine, and that is a very, very fed Candy. And you know what? I'm going to call it now GG to SK, because 4-0 in lane, 10 minutes in for Candy Panda, and I don't think there's going to be much to be able to stop him late game.
No, it's very dangerous, and actually we see PK get away there with just a little bit of health. Needs to be careful because Wicked's got the health to actually finish this one off here. Obviously that turret going to be a bit of a concern for Wicked should it happen, and the flashes come out from both players, and it was nicely done by PK to anticipate that one. We're seeing Ocelot putting the pressure down onto Trundle as well, who should be in a fairly safe position. He's not far away from that turret, and he will get into the safe zone, if you want to call it that, as Wicked will just hang around pushing those minions. Ocelot looks like he wants to go for the dive. Ulti, I can't see if his ulti's up. I imagine it is by now.
He's waiting for that minion stack to come along, which is what Wicked's pushing. So as soon as that comes down here, I think they're going to dive him. There's no reason why not. Karthus, I don't know whether Karthus probably does have his ulti. Here we go. It's going to be a definite ulti on tower, I think, coming in here. Yes, he will do, and that's surely going to be him going down. Yeah, Wicked may well get taken down by the tower in the process. Yes, just about. Yes, he will do. So nicely done, actually picking up. So not so worth it as the case may be, but Karthus just coming back in time there as well to save the tower any damage. But it's worth a good dive. Meanwhile, down the bottom, they're going to go dive on towards Corky again. He's just about to get away. Sona popping the ulti, but I don't think Corky can do a damn thing about it because it's been picked off so badly. The damage now coming out from Candy is pretty extreme, and Candy's almost certainly going to have enough to go get a BF sword, if not get a Bloodthirster flat out.
Yeah, it's a dream start for anyone, and especially a player like Candy, who is actually been pushing up through the ranks of the solo queue. I think got up to second or so. Anyway, up at top we have the pressure coming out from Wicked, the slow bar coming out from Karthus, and looks like he may look to do a bit more damage. No, not quite. Candy again down at bottom. It's once again all kicking off. My new favourite statement of the day down in the bottom area. but SK have decided to back away and go for a little bit more fun. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and at that all-important CS. Candy, 86. And Corky not quite as much. What is it? 52. And we actually see Candy coming in. Exhaust is on him and needs to be careful. We see Nif moving in range just to get those heals off. Nif was the one that got in a little bit of trouble with the tower damage. Here comes that horrible Carthus ulti. Candy will actually manage to escape. He's got tumbled as well. Out comes a flash from Melisande. Candy's like 0 HP almost. Well, the heal comes out last minute. Nicely done. And well, nicely avoided by Candy there. Don't quite believe that he survived that one. Great healing from Nif, and that is why SK were like, sorry game, but they're ours now.
Yeah, Corky just didn't have the mana to use the ulti bars. Meanwhile, at the top they are diving onto Wicked. I don't think they're going to be able to get him down here, though. It looks like he will get to the tower in time. No, the exhaust gone down, and that's going to be surely Wicked going down. He's trying to pop his ulti, couldn't get the heals. So that will be a much-needed kill there for the top lane. Actually, who is it, Carthus? Or oh no, it was Trundle that picked it up. So Trundle's actually got the 2 kills for Fnatic. That's less than ideal. But yeah, they just didn't quite have the mana. If he could have, he was 1 away from getting the big bomb, which would have got a double kill. But unfortunately, Corky just ran out of that mana on the tower and couldn't get in there. Looks like they're going to catch SK. They need to be careful they don't go for this one, because Anivia is just hanging around. Corky is there as well. SK are going for the dragon here. I'm not too sure whether they're both going to have escapes. You've got to assume Ocelot's going to have flash up. And Wet Dream's there. Oh, here we go. Candy coming down. Has got that BF sword. Has got the lifesteal as well. Oh, look at the damage already. Pops the ulti, goes straight for Melisande. Everybody needs to get the hell away from Vayne right now, because he is absolutely going to peel faces. I was going to say something else, which is the big no-no in casting. So I had to alter there, so peel faces is not really the ideal thing. But yeah, so as it is, SK are in such a strong position. They need to be careful they don't get a little too overconfident here, because they are 3v2 sorry, down the bottom. I assume they realise that Anivia is still hanging around. Yeah, it's going to back away. But first tower, of all things, actually went to Fnatic at the top.
Yeah, that's an interesting turn of events. I think SK really focusing there around that dragon action, and it's allowed obviously a little bit of a push to coming up on the top. Down at the bottom, as you mentioned, that 3-on-2 situation is still in place, but they don't want to get over pushy on that bottom lane. I think we've seen the BF sword being picked up by Candy, so working his way very quickly up toward the Bloodthirster. We've got Wet Dream, who's double buffed at the moment. In fact, they even managed to steal just before Dragon the Fnatic Blue, so that's always another big bonus for SK, and Wet Dream's going to start to be very painful as he moves forward. In terms of wards, they're fairly even, although the Fnatic ones are slightly more defensive around the dragon area. SK placing a bit more of an offensive ward up by the Wraiths. They're actually going to be spotting a move from Trundle, and yeah, Wicked may decide to go for him. No, he's decided to back away from that one, not going to play. Down at the bottom, Turret is being pressured completely. Look at Candy, he's like, should I do it, should I not? Yeah, go on then, let's go for it. And actually he's going to be a little bit of trouble. He does get stunned there on the turret. This is going to be dangerous, and he will go down. There's an extra 476 gold. Nif is surely going to follow. Big heal comes out, but I don't see him escaping from this one too easily. Even decided to go a bit aggressive, and Corky's like, I'm scared of this, I'm going to run away.
Yeah, it's great to see Corky running away from a Soraka.
From a Soraka, yeah.
So yeah, but nice ulti there. So Vayne does go down, so a little bit overconfident there. However, mid turret is surely going to get pushed now. I think Anivia's going to have to be very careful here. It's down to 500 health. Yeah, not going to be able to push for that one. Nice. The banner coming down there as well. So mid turret does go down. So over aggression really is really all that caught Vayne there. So nevertheless, 4-1-0 has got the Bloodthirster now. 112 CS compared to Corky's 67. Yeah, so big advantage there. Wicked's now on the patrol as well. Lost the top turret, which is actually freed up Wicked to go looking for the kills rather than actually just carry on farming in lane. It's one of those things you're like, do we take the tower because it's unleashing this hero that I'm playing against? Will it actually be better for us to keep him maybe pinned here? As it is, that's going to be bottom turret going down, and now SK up. That's one turret. They're trying to push on towards the mid turret, but Wicked's just going to keep it held nicely with his ulti. They're taking down all those minions. Meanwhile, Jarvan continues to push top. and Vayne is going roaming. Like you can see Vayne, Soraka both coming around the backside. A ping has just gone down on PK and Anivia here. PK and Shushay, here we go. Here comes Vayne, comes around, ulti pop. That's going to be Anivia surely getting triggered to the rebirth. Yes, he will do. Rebirth has been popped. Actually popped just inside the bush. That's going to save his bacon for a little bit there as Karthus tries to stay on there. Karthus, can he take down Wicked in the meantime? He's going to try and do it his best. I don't know where he's got his ulti. He keeps continuing to try and put it down. He does have his ulti up, but it's not going to be enough because Soraka gets the heal off. Keeps everyone alive long enough. And Anivia and Karthus both going down there. So another fight with 2 for 0 and 7-3 now. SK up in kills. I think they probably want to go back off and buy rather than push forward. Unless Soraka's going to waste all the mana. As yet more buffs getting stolen by Wet Dream now. You know, I think the blue buff has actually only been picked up by Fnatic once. And now the red buff also being stolen by Wet Dream. So doing a fantastic job of controlling the jungle.
Yeah, this really amazing to see SK really taking everything away from Fnatic, and to be honest, Fnatic haven't really sniffed around by their own blue buff either. They've just kind of been too distracted or something to get in there. Obviously they didn't know the timings on it perfectly. Wet Dream up at the top is going to clear this lane out and should be able to put a bit more pressure out onto the turret. What's its health like? Okay, half health. Karthus and Trundle on their way up to give it some support, and we will see Jarvan backing off. So let's have a look quickly down on the scoreboard. Ocelot 2 kills, 2 assists, no deaths of course. Wicked has gone down twice, but it's Candy who's 4-1-1, which is going to be making a very, very scary Candy Panda. And he has built up that bloodthirst now. It looks like SK are going to once again head up towards the jungle. And look at that, blue buff was there. SK are right, thank you very much, we'll take that once again. And by the way, you can't do anything to stop it, just saying. And Sona, obviously it was who was around there, had to back away, and blue buff was picked up by Ocelot. So again, SK really doing great stuff. I'm not sure if we have a time for Dragon. Yeah, 1950. So around about a minute or so's time until that Dragon is up, and that's why you know, SK right now are fairly pushed up around this bottom area. They're probably just trying to get Fnatic away from it so that they can get this Dragon the instant that it actually comes up and into play.
Yeah, and Trinity Force completed by Wicked now as well. Revenant's Death Cap almost completed by Ocelot, so they really are having a great time. And in comparison, you know, item-wise, they are quite far ahead now with that kill advantage, and really just getting the massive buff advantage, lane advantage. They've just got every advantage going for them. They've won the top lane. They've definitely won the bottom lane. Pretty even in mid. There wasn't really any kills going on there, but it doesn't matter because, you know, you're 2-1 down in lanes, or really 2-0 in lanes, really, because you've just had nothing. Okay, we've got a Vision Ward just gone down there by Melisande, so that's going to maybe clear out any wards because they haven't been able to afford an Oracle, as it was actually no Oracle on either team, is there? No, nobody's got an Oracle yet, so Soraka hasn't been aboard an Oracle on Nif yet, so she's got that looking pick. Oh, it's going to be a flash straight in there. Jarvan's going to set it up, and in the meantime, that wall has really stopped them, and very nicely played there by Fnatic. Wet Dream getting too aggressive. Brilliant wall there from Shushay, just completely blocking off the rest of the team. They're like, oh, we can't help you there. Meanwhile, Candy Panda is actually still typing, so I can only guess that the comms are not working still for Candy Panda. So despite being 4-1 up in kills, sorry, Candy Panda down the bottom lane didn't have any comms during it. It's going to pick up lots of free farm down the bottom here, but that is Dragon going to Fnatic. So, you know, we saw SK sort of getting a big advantage from a few team fights. Maybe Fnatic could do that, I don't know. They need to maybe try and push an advantage here. This turret's surely going to go down into 200 health. That will go down very quickly. It's whether they can pick any kills above it. No, if you're trying to get a stun just as it goes, but that's the next turret going.
Yep, turret is down, and as you mentioned, just a great trade-off, that little fight there for Fnatic, getting that first kill. The wall, absolutely amazing, and sure, it was a nice initiation in theory from Wet Dream. He managed to, I think, 3 or maybe even 4 inside of his ulti, so initially it looked great, and then there's a big wall in your face, and you can't really do much to back up Wet Dream at that point. Looks like SK are going to go a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, ulti was out from Candy, forced back away, and SK sat around this Baron area, and they're going to take their own blue buff, something that Fnatic have sorely been missing out on. And Fnatic are still holding this upper river area, so not wanting to back away and maybe get that sneaky Baron coming out early from SK. Fnatic are going to go portaling home. going to get themselves some new cool items.
Yeah, that's what they hope. They really got a fat lot of gold in there. They did get a tower and a dragon, so I guess at least 300, but there wasn't too many minions had in between all that, so the creep scores weren't really going up. Meanwhile, Candy Panda did go and clear probably about 3 or 4 wave of creeps down up the top there, so Candy Panda is so fed right now, and continuing to feed as well as Wicked. Wicked's just been and cleared a nice big fat stack down the bottom, so they're continuing to push their gold dominance despite not getting those singular dragon, and really, I don't think, I mean, PK had got that red, but I think he only got that off Jarvan. I don't think he's actually picked up that, yeah, he did, and that was, ironically, their own lizard buff as well that Jarvan stole in the first place. So, item-wise, they are a little bit behind. CS-wise, if we just look at that, you can see they are quite behind in numbers. SK are way ahead. They've got 4 people, 120 plus, whereas only 141 for Karthus, 119 for Anivia. So yeah, the rest of them are a long way back. Trundle at the moment is actually caught up with Corki, which is not good when your jungler is getting the same amount as your AD carry. That is not a pleasant sign. So they are pushing on towards this mid turret. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything from it really. They could probably do with more backing off than anything. They don't want to get caught. You can see the stuns coming out. They're hoping to try and catch someone. Remember, there is no CS, no CC, sorry, on SK's side. So they have that. That's really all they have going for them. They have a little bit of CC on Fnatic side compared to absolutely nothing. Well, Karthus got to be careful here. Wicked has used his flash up. He's going to get the dash surely onto Karthus. Yes, he will do. Does get the slow down. It's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, you can see the wall coming down. They actually pinned him. They pinned him on the trees there, didn't he? Yeah, Wet Dream had to slide out. They're going to steal that red buff. So yet another buff stolen. Oh, Karthus, you just got completely caught there. PK was really in the wrong place. Jarvan leaps on towards Trundle. Trundle has to use his flash to get out of there. That went badly wrong for Fnatic already, and PK just getting caught in a far too aggressive position. I know PK uses Karthus to, initiate, go down early and use his ulti, but that was just too early, simply put.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he really expected that SK was still so kind of stacked up around that red buff. I mean, when you can see the whole map, it's easy to judge, but obviously when you've got that fog of war on, it's not quite as easy. Down at the bottom, we saw finally a blue buff going to Shushi, and Anivia, one of those champions that really benefits hugely from having that blue buff. And we are going to see the teleport away from Wicked down on towards that middle lane. Didn't want Corki to be pushing too hard, and that tower got about 2/3 of health still remaining. SK obviously taking down the top turret, and the kills 4-8 in favour of SK. It's not that big of a difference, but as you mentioned, the creep score is heavily in favour of SK Gaming, so that's going to make it very hard moving forward for Fnatic. Corki needs to be careful in the middle there. Yeah, Vayne didn't actually come in towards him. And when was the next dragon? 26-40.
He did actually say on my way mid, but nobody else went with him. He was like, come on, I want more kills. Candy's, he says, I want 150 gold. That's why they dived the tower. He said, dive it, I want gold. So they're really, they are in a dominant position, SK, right now. They are quite strong. It is actually only 8-4 in kills, so it's not like a unattainable position. But gold-wise, without actually seeing what it is, I just get that feeling that they are quite far ahead. They've taken just the one inner turret, actually. I thought it was more than that. But, all outer turrets now and the one inner turret. Whereas just the 2 outers for Fnatic. So turret-wise, dragon-wise is even actually. Turret-wise they're slightly ahead, kills they're ahead, but in terms of buffs they are miles ahead, which is give really the jungler probably that advantage. So let's see if there's any level advantage. Yeah, Jarvan's 2 levels ahead of Trundle, so the jungler's a little bit ahead. There's 2 level 14s, Malzahar and Jarvan. Actually, Jarvan's really done a really good job at jungling, obviously, to be that far ahead in levels. Karthus, the only level 14, and Olivia not quite got there yet either. So, items you can see, much completed? Not really, I've got to be honest. So still things fairly even, but Aurelia is now very tanky and has a lot of damage. So, it's really the fact that Wicked and Jarvan both Wicked, Aurelia and Jarvan both really don't need any attention at all from Nif. Oh, it's been walled off, but that's not really going to be able to do a fat lot there. Now they're just going to see just being maintained quite happily. The ulti from Wicked and Nif. Oh, that's going to be an ulti straight in from Jarvan. They're going to go in. They don't really want to go for PK. Sona manages to put the ulti across there, but Trundle's in all sorts of trouble. Trundle just flashing away, and that's going to be Malzahar's ulti finishing down Karthus. Actually, Candy did steal that kill. Corki's also going to go down, I think, here. Not going to be able to get away. Candy gets the double kill. Flashes in again. Goes for the triple. Can he get Anivia down? Oh, Trundle nicely put. Oh, but Jarvan is going to come around the side. Can he get a Dragon Strike? Yes, he will. Put the nicely down. That's going to put the egg. Gandy's going to come around the side. Can he steal the kill again? Almost certainly will, and that will be dominating from Candy there as he gets the triple. Trundle porting away. Ocelot going to come around, see if he can pick up any free kills. Sorry, mate. Candy stole them all.
Yeah, just really strong playing. Obviously, that flash from Jarvan really helping to finish off the whole thing. Wedging's got the aggro from the tower. Needs to be a little bit careful there. I don't know if he thought, okay, it's fine, I can tank it anyway, or whether he was caught out. Oh, Ocelot maybe in a bit of trouble. He's out of position, but Candy comes in, and you just see Trundle just run away. Don't want to get anywhere near. There comes the aggressive flash over the top, focusing in onto Candy, and I think he may go down. Yes, he will. We do see Karthus die once again. PK having a little bit of trouble with that one. Ulti popped by PK, but you know, SK still got enough health with those remaining players to get themselves away, and Pillar just slightly too late there. Wicked is going to get himself away from this one. Nif and Ocelot should probably just back up from this one. And we do get Jarvan coming back in there as well. So scoreline moving to 12-5 in favour once again of SK. And Candy is 8-2-2. Nice scoreline.
Yeah, and wisely backed off there because Wicked had the ulti ready. He was just waiting for his time. Nif just came around that corner and was like, right, okay, if they go for you now, I'm going to pop the heal, you turn around and have them. And they certainly would have, because they were pretty low and they didn't really have a massive amount of damage. Candy goes, we got this, keep the pressure on. So SK feeling very confident, and rightfully so. 12-5 up in kills. They didn't actually pick up the turret there because it's still left on 126 hit points, but really they were just going for all them kills. And yeah, like you say, Candy Panda now on 8-2-2 is just phenomenal, and once Vayne gets that fed, there's not really much coming back, especially when there's a Jarvan and Aurelia and a Malzahar. I mean, it is such a very good team composition they have right now, with, of course, Nif sat there going, oh, what, you're low? Okay, heal. And actually, because Nif picked up all those assists early on, it's actually 0-0-8, and managed to get the Philosophers and Lucky Picks so early on. He's actually got quite a bit of mana now, so he's also got that Blasting Ward and the Ionian Boots, so he's got the cooldowns as well as the heals now of the mana. So yeah, really, it's going to be very, very difficult for Fnatic to come back. They're going to have to pull off some phenomenal team fights, and they have to be very wary. Dragon was probably just picked up then. I may have missed it while I was waffling. Almost certainly that's going to be the blue going to probably Ocelot. Is it? No, Ocelot's already saying I've already got mine. Somebody else have it. That tower's going to go down. They're just going to dive on it. It's only got a couple of hit points left. Wet Dreamer's like, is anyone else going to help me with this or what? Yeah, just
guys, it kind of hurts.
Yeah, just leave me hitting it. Yeah, so they're actually asking Baron ? Would certainly be an interesting choice, but I think, you know, they're probably better off just keeping the pressure on right now. You can see Candy's just been back. He's got that Zeal. He's got that Banshee's Veil as well. Malzahar just not quite landing the kill there on Anivia, so Anivia just backing away. But yeah, the pressure being sustained, and I think they are now moving across towards Baron.
Yeah, it's a good decision as well. I mean, wards for Fnatic, there's one right in the back of the Baron pit, but you can only assume that they'll get it away, which is something that they didn't quite manage to do in the first game with that annoying Baron ward that was in there. Clairvoyance has gone down, and SK are actually setting up very aggressively on this position. This is an interesting decision for me. There's no wards around there from Fnatic, and as the slow bar comes in, wall wasn't so effective, and actually Trundle needs to be careful. He's gone a little bit too aggressive for me. Ulti comes out from Jarvan, Trundle is dead, and now they focus for the easy kill onto Karthus, get themselves out of his reach. Now they focus Corki, and well, this ultimate's going to do a fat lot of nothing actually, and it will allow Melisande to get away, but this turret is going to go down once SK, actually hit it a little bit. That will always be a good thing. There we go. And this base turret should be falling as well. They've got a decent amount of minions there with them. They can, they're tanky enough to finish it off themselves if needs be. Inhibitor should go straight down with it as well. And just an all-around superb push from SK Gaming.
Yeah, very good. And like Candy said, keep the pressure on. It's exactly what it was. And it's interesting to see him doing it. Obviously, given the comments out, considering Wet Dream is the in-game captain, I believe. So, but it was certainly Candy Panda that was calling that one. Wicked's just been caught out. But really, the fact is the team composition and just the way it worked. The worst thing they could have ever happened to them was let Vayne get fed, because Vayne will get strong regardless in any game eventually. But it's how quick you let him get there, and really, it's just let him get so strong so early on, and he's just putting so much critical damage out on people. It's just boom, 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 hammering away at them, bursting them down, and it's giving free kills to everybody else if he doesn't steal it himself. So 923, Malzahar 306, Irelia 326, and Jarvan 017. And really, you've got to be asking yourself, as Fnatic, who do you go for? Because Candy Pandas are just getting completely babysit by Nif. Yeah, and meanwhile, Wicked and Jarvan, Wicked and Irelia, Irelia and Jarvan is the one I wanted. I've got so much influence. Look at this, Candy Pan is just so confident. It's actually soloing in amongst 5 of them. Got to be careful. Flashes out, pops his ulti, comes around. PK goes down, Wicked dives in, Jarvan ultis onto the top, Corki going down, that's going to be Trundle going down as well, and that is just pure confidence there, bred from the fact that they were fed early on, and there's not really a lot Fnatic can do out of this one. It is pretty much an unattainable position. GG given out by Corki there, dives in on the tower, doesn't matter, is going to just pop his ultis to heal it, Jarvan slides through, steals the kill, Wicked actually got the kill in the end there. Finally, Wicked does go down. Doesn't matter. They're actually tower diving. Oh, fountain diving as well. Wet Dream with the fountain kill. And that is GG. So, well, into the losers bracket go Fnatic, the DreamHack winners. And SK now got to be thinking, if only we were at DreamHack.
Well, it's quite an interesting situation. We talked about how much rivalry Fnatic versus SK brings. Yeah, there is no losers bracket as far as I know. I was just about to point that out as well. I think it's just straight single elimination best of 3, but we can check that here in just a second when we get to the website.
There's a third, fourth playoff, but yeah, there's nothing for this one, I don't think. Is there? It would be... No, there's absolutely nothing for this one. There's a third, fourth playoff, that's all there is.
Yeah.
Which would be between, obviously, SK and Millennium, and Lowland Lions and Team Solar Mid.
Yeah. Oh, you counting Wizards out already?
Well, maybe. I'd forgot about that. Hey, we'll see. That's on Monday.
Yeah, that is coming up on Monday. What was my point? Yeah, Fnatic Season 1 champions. SK didn't even get there. And, they've come into this one. Fnatic obviously full of confidence after becoming the Season 1 champions. SK with a brand new lineup. And it's always difficult to play against that, that new lineup because they're very hungry for success. Okay, you might have an edge in the terms that, they've not been a team for so long and maybe missing a few key elements there. But I don't know. SK, to be honest, have come out flying. Their game against Team Solo Mid earlier on today over on the Riot stream. I believe that, so I heard, the first game they actually pretty much stomped all over TSM. They lost the second game, but it's looking very, very good from Fnatic, from SK, and again this season going to be one of those teams that's definitely up there and contending.
Yeah, and absolutely, but as we've seen many times, when you get to a LAN, teams can change, and it certainly seemed to happen that way for Fnatic. They just very much clicked when they were on LAN. I believe yourself and Freak picked up on that. How SK, as this new unit will work when they get on LAN, we don't know. I mean, we know that the bottom lane of Nift and Candy is very strong. We know that Wicked is very strong if allowed to play Irelia, as proven there. So, these are not new things to us, and Ocelot of Malzahar is one of those heroes that I think should be banned every bloody game anyway, but I just had bad experiences against him. And Jarvan is very strong. Like I said, it was just a very good team composition. Some strange picks for Fnatic in really both games. I didn't understand some of them, but I don't know, maybe they were just trying something new. It's an expensive way of trying things new, certainly, especially when there's no losers bracket.
Tournament.
Yeah.
No lower bracket, you lose, you're out. It's that simple. And obviously, Fnatic finding out the hard way about that one. So, moving on, I'm going to bring up the website here. If you all guys want to check it out yourself, you can go over to esl.eu/EMS, and you can find your way through there. So, up at the top of the bracket, we have Lowland Lions against Team Solo Mid. That will be happening on Saturday. You can find the stream here on ESL TV. Down in the low bracket, we've just seen SK move through to the semi-final on Monday night, I believe at 7 or maybe 8. It's kind of evading me right now.
8 CEST, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so 8 European time, 7 in the UK. Millennium versus Wizards. Obviously, Millennium second place from Season 1. That should be, for me, an amazing, amazing game. And the winner will go on to take on SK Gaming in the semi-final. So, you know, plenty of League of Legends action coming your way. I've once again just want to remind you later on tonight, actually, we will have Rock Solid versus Counter Logic Gaming. That is from the National ESL Premier League, the semi-final of that one. So make sure you stick around for that one. On Saturday morning here in Europe, Friday night in the US is another game, which I don't remember what it is, but I'm going to look. Here we go. ESL.tv, by the way, is the place where you can find all that information. Okay, so TSM versus UNR. That's the other semi-final.
Big game, that one as well. Unrestricted, very strong team. Actually beat CLG 2-0 not long ago. So yeah, they're a pretty strong team, Unrestricted.
And then, as I said, Saturday will be TSM versus Lowland Lions, and then myself and Deman will be back on Monday for the rest. I can't maybe say too much about this, but next Saturday is a good place to be watching ESL TV if you're a League of Legends fan. The 9th of July we'll be bringing something a little bit special to you. I'm not sure exactly how much has been publicly announced, so I should probably not get fired by telling everyone before that's happened. Demon, once again, thank you very much, and don't forget, guys, you can check out all Demon's replays over at youtube.com/user/4demon with the number 4.
And the A, not no. Deman, short for demanufacture.
Yeah.
So yeah, not demon. as your northern accent sometimes blurs it into.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people kind of type in things that I've said and they get the words wrong just because of my accent.
Yeah.
So that's always a problem. Yeah, but thanks a lot, Demon, once again for joining me. It's always a pleasure, never a chore. And a great game we've seen. 2-0, Fnatic being edged out there, and SK will be going through into that semi-final. Like I mentioned, make sure you come back some point in, what time is it now? 10 to 11, in 3 hours' time, because the Americans will be taking it away with the National ESL Premier League semi-final. So make sure you tune in for that one. And myself and Demon shall see you on Monday.